I never liked Halloween. Not for any deep, moral reason. I just don't like strangers knocking on my door expecting free candy. I'm a 30-something guy who barely opens his mail, let alone opens to miniature vampires demanding chocolate. Still, this year felt different. There was a low fog hanging over the neighborhood since morning, that kind of white, diffused mist that eats up light. The air smelled like wet leaves and burnt pumpkins. And for the first time in years, I'd actually stayed home instead of working late. I told myself I'd hand out candy, try to feel like a normal person for once. But by sunset, not a single kid had shown up. It was 8:14 p.m. when I finally looked outside and realized, not one porch light on across the street. Not one sound of laughter. Just the fog. I live in a quiet cul-de-sac in a Midwestern town, the kind of place where lawns are measured with obsessive pride. Every Halloween, parents parade their kids down the loop like it's a festival route. But tonight, the street looked abandoned, every house dark, blinds drawn tight. My phone buzzed once. A text from my neighbor, Julie, who lives 2 doors down. "Hey, did you hear anything weird tonight?" I stared at it for a second, thumb hovering. "Weird how?" Before I could reply, another message from her came through. "Someone's walking around outside. Dressed like a trick-or-treater, I think. But it's just standing there." I frowned. I walked to the window, parting the blinds a little. The fog made it hard to see, but I spotted what she meant. At the far end of the street, near the cul-de-sac curve, stood someone in a black costume. Not moving. Just standing. Probably some kid waiting to scare a friend, I thought. But something about the stillness felt off. It wasn't the costume, it was the way they were facing the wrong direction. Their head was turned toward a house that didn't have its light on. Kids these days, I muttered to myself. I sent Julie a half-joking reply. Probably just some bored teen doing a TikTok thing. She didn't answer. By 8:30, I had opened a beer and tried to focus on a horror movie marathon on TV. Irony wasn't lost on me, fake scares, fake blood, fake ghosts. But then my doorbell rang. Ding dong. A single, sharp chime. It startled me, not because it was loud, but because I hadn't even noticed anyone walk up. My porch motion light hadn't turned on. I grabbed the candy bowl, half amused, half relieved. Finally, I said, heading for the door. When I opened it, the fog poured in like smoke. The street looked deserted again. No kids. No laughter. Just a single mask lying on the welcome mat, an old-fashioned papier-mâché jack-o'-lantern face, hand-painted and cracked at the edges. I picked it up. The inside was damp. Cold. And that's when I noticed, my porch light wasn't off. It was flickering, like something had brushed past the motion sensor. A faint click came from my left, the sound of my neighbor's security light turning on. I glanced over. Julie's driveway was empty, but her door was wide open. "Julie?" I called out. Nothing. My stomach tightened. I set the mask on a chair and walked across the street, shoes crunching over wet leaves. When I reached her front step, I could see candy scattered across the tiles, like someone had dropped the bowl in a hurry. "Julie?" I said again, stepping inside. Her living room lights were on, TV muted, showing the local news channel. A reporter in costume was talking about Halloween safety, something about checking candy, trick-or-treat curfews. Except, the chariot at the bottom glitched for a second, then froze. "Live feed interrupted, please stand by." The reporter's face went blank, her eyes staring at something behind the camera. Then static. A second later, the channel cut to black. I turned around slowly. The air in Julie's house was heavy, like the heat had been turned off for days. And in the middle of the hallway, on the floor, was another mask. Same design. Papier-mâché. Jack-o'-lantern grin. Except this one was still wet. Like it had just been painted. Then came the whisper. Low. Drawn out. From somewhere deeper in the house. "Trick or treat." My throat went dry. I backed out slowly, one step at a time, until I was outside again. I shut her door. Hard. That's when my phone vibrated again. Another text from Julie. Don't answer the door again. I froze. I looked at the timestamp. It was sent 6 minutes ago. From her number. While I was standing inside her house. Then, my porch light flickered again across the street. I turned back and saw the figure. Standing on my porch now. The same black costume. The same stillness. Except this time, the head was turned toward me. I must have stood in the middle of the street for a full minute, staring at my own porch like it belonged to someone else. The figure hadn't moved. Fog twisted around it like slow-motion smoke. The costume was basic. Black robe, pale mask, like a Spirit Halloween knockoff. But the stillness wasn't human. There was no fidget, no breath visible in the cold. My rational brain tried to stitch together explanations. Maybe some kid thought this was funny. Maybe I just stumbled into one of those viral haunted neighborhood setups where everyone secretly plays along for a camera reveal. Except the air felt wrong. Too cold. Too quiet. When I finally started walking back toward my house, my steps echoed soft, wet thuds against the pavement. I could hear my heartbeat in my ears. Halfway up the driveway, I stopped. The motion light didn't come on. The figure turned its head slightly, not fast, not mechanical, just enough to let me see the mask. It wasn't papier-mâché anymore. It looked glossy. Wet. All right, I said under my breath. You've had your fun. Happy Halloween. Nothing. I reached for my phone, planning to film it, I guess. Because that's what we do when we don't know what else to do, we record. Proof that the thing we're seeing actually happened. When I unlocked the screen, the camera app opened on its own. Just a black screen. Then a face. For a split second, my own reflection blinked back at me, except the eyes were hollow, the face slightly tilted like it didn't fit right. The app froze. The phone shut off. By the time I looked up again, the figure was gone. The porch was empty. I took a shaky breath, stepped forward, and opened the door, because of course I did. Horror logic is different when you're living it. You don't think you're in danger, you think you're about to prove something stupid wrong. Inside, everything looked normal. Except the mask I'd left on the chair earlier was gone. And on the kitchen counter sat a new one. Not a jack-o'-lantern this time, something else. Paler. Human-shaped, with holes too wide where the eyes should be. There was a note beneath it, written in neat cursive on yellow paper. For the broadcast. What the hell, I muttered, laughing under my breath, that hollow laugh you make when you realize you might be losing it. I turned the note over. The back was blank. But when I set it down, faint letters began to bleed through, like ink seeping up from the fibers. Keep watching. The TV in the living room clicked on by itself. No sound. Just static. Then, a local news broadcast again. The same anchor from earlier, sitting too still behind the desk. Her mouth opened, but the voice that came out wasn't hers. Tonight, it said, distorted and layered, the doorway's open. Masks are offered. Choose wisely. The camera zoomed closer until her teeth filled the frame. Then the screen went black. My hands were shaking. I could still smell something chemical in the air, like wet paint and smoke. Then came a sound from the hallway. 3 soft knocks. Not on the front door this time. From inside the house. I froze, staring down the dim corridor. Knock. 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 I didn't move. I didn't breathe. Who's there? I said, instantly regretting how stupid it sounded. The answer came from behind me, a whisper so close it tickled my ear. Trick or treat. I spun around. Nothing. The lights flickered. The TV snapped back on. This time, it wasn't a news anchor. It was a live feed. My own living room. The camera angle from somewhere behind me. I turned slowly, heart thundering, and saw it, the same black-robed figure standing in the doorway between the hall and the living room, half in shadow, head tilted. In its hand hung the first mask, the pumpkin face, dripping something dark onto the carpet. And for the first time, it moved. A slow, dragging step forward. Then another. My brain screamed run, but my body wouldn't listen. I just stood there, every nerve on fire, staring as the figure raised the mask like it was offering it to me. "Put it on," the voice said, not from its mouth, but from the TV speakers, overlapping, distorted. I backed away until my legs hit the coffee table. "Put it on," it repeated, louder this time, the voice cracking like bad radio interference. The smell of rot hit me then, damp, old, earthy. Like something dug up. And beneath it, another smell. Burnt wax. I didn't remember dropping the lighter, or that the candle on the table had even been lit. But in the corner of my eye, a small flame flickered higher, orange, then blue, then green. For a second, the figure looked almost transparent in the glow. I saw something else behind it, a shape older, less human. A shadow with antlers and hollow eyes. The flame died. The figure vanished. Only the mask remained, lying on the floor where it had stood. I didn't touch it. I just backed into the corner and stayed there, staring, until dawn started bleeding through the blinds. When I finally stepped forward to check, the mask was gone. In its place, written on the carpet in faint black streaks, were 3 words. "See you tonight." The sun rose that morning like it was embarrassed to be here, weak light, sickly sky, everything in grayscale. I hadn't slept. Every corner of the room felt too alive. Every creak sounded like the mask breathing. Coffee didn't help. It tasted metallic, like it had soaked up the night. I told myself I'd leave, grab my keys, drive until Halloween was someone else's problem. Except my car keys were gone. No broken locks. No footprints. Just gone. In their place sat a VHS tape. Yeah, VHS, in 2025. Labeled in black marker, live Halloween feed, 10 p.m. I laughed, the kind of laugh you make when fear's running the show. "Of course," I muttered. Next up, Blood Curse DVD extras. But the laugh died when I realized I didn't own a VCR. That's when the power died too. Everything, lights, fridge, the hum of the heater, gone. And yet the TV clicked on. The same local news anchor from last night stared out at me, frozen smile, perfect hair. Only now her eyes were wrong, black pools, glossy and unblinking. "Good morning," she said, voice layered, wrong. "It's Halloween day. The veils are thin. Tonight's broadcast is mandatory." My throat went dry. "Participation ensures safety," she continued. "Refusal ensures remembrance." Static tore the picture apart, then rebuilt it, grainy handheld footage, time-stamped decades ago. Children in costumes, parading through a small town street. Pumpkins glowing. Music thin and distant. Then the camera panned to one still child in a pale mask, watching the lens. The timestamp blinked, then changed. October 31st, 25. Today. I reached for the remote. The TV turned itself off. Then on again. The same clip replayed, only closer. The mask wasn't plastic. It was skin. I gagged, grabbed the power cord, except there was no cord. The back of the TV was smooth. New feed. Live footage. My living room. I stared at myself on screen. Then I smiled and lifted something I didn't hold in my hands, the pale mask. The neon screen slanted over his face. Screen black. Silence thickened. Then, music. A warped children's rhyme bleeding through the static. 1 for the harvest, 2 for the flame, 3 for the watchers who call your name. The sound came from the kitchen. The old radio, the one I'd unplugged years ago, was playing. Remember to leave a light in the window, the voice said now, flat and calm. The broadcast begins at 10. Those without light will be visited first. My hands shook. I pulled the batteries. The voice kept going. Keep your masks near. They'll fit better this year. I hurled the radio against the wall. Shattered. Silence. Then knock, knock, knock. Front door. Broad daylight. Through the peephole, nothing. Just fog swallowing the street, thick as smoke. Movement. A figure in black stepped from the fog carrying something square and heavy. It set it down on my porch, a CRT television, and walked away. Slow. Deliberate. When it vanished, I cracked the door. The TV glowed without power. On screen, a house identical to mine. Same porch. Same welcome mat. Then someone opened that door from the inside. It was me. The other me picked up a mask from the porch and smiled. Flash of white. Black screen. I slammed my door, backed away, heartbeat hammering like machinery. This wasn't some prank. This was choreography. I grabbed my phone, no signal. Only one app remained, the broadcast. I opened it. Orange glow. Pixel bleed. Text forming like fireflies. 10 p.m. Don't hide. Don't turn off the lights. We'll be watching. A countdown began. 10 hours, 9 hours, 59 minutes and 59 seconds. My reflection stared from the screen, but it didn't move when I did. The doorknob twitched. A faint scrape echoed from behind the walls, like wires dragging through plaster. The smell of burnt wax drifted through the vents. Something about it all felt timed. Planned. The broadcast wasn't just something to watch. It was a ritual running on schedule. I needed noise, light, proof of life, anything. I turned on every bulb, every lamp. Music, podcasts, white noise. For an hour, nothing happened. Then the phone rang. Unknown number. Against all logic, I answered. Hello? Static. Then a child's voice whispered, "You forgot your mask." Click. I dropped the phone, heart slamming my ribs. The countdown ticked down, 6 hours, 47 minutes and 12 seconds. I went outside to clear my head. Mist coiled around every house. No kids. No laughter. Just fog and a faint buzz of TVs through windows. Every house on the street was tuned to the same channel. Same anchor. Same smile. "Happy Halloween," she said from every living room. "Please prepare your offerings." Some screens showed families wearing masks, sitting perfectly still. Others showed empty rooms, yet the shadows moved. I stepped back, tripped on something. Another mask, lying on my doorstep. Fresh paint. Still wet. The back was warm, almost pulsing. Inside, the clock struck 5. The TV turned on by itself again, showing a list of names. Hundreds of them scrolling upward like film credits. Mine appeared near the top. Next to it, status awaiting. I unplugged the TV. It stayed on. The names turned into faces, brief flashes, people I'd never seen, all wearing masks. Then one face lingered longer. Me. Except this version of me was older. Tired. Smiling in a way that wasn't mine. Then, in bold white text, "Complete your broadcast." The screen dissolved into static. From outside, every house light went out at once. The entire neighborhood plunged into dark except for one glow, mine. Through the window, I saw movement in every yard. Figures. Dozens. Each carrying an old TV, walking toward me. The hum was deafening, like power lines screaming. The countdown on my phone hit 1 minute. I backed away, whispering to myself, "It's not real, it's not real." The front door shook. Once. Twice. Then the TVs outside all flicked on simultaneously, hundreds of them, each showing a live feed of my house. Every camera angle different. Every perspective impossible. Through one screen I saw my own terrified face from above. Through another, from behind. The final feed zoomed close to the front door. A pale hand reached out from the fog and touched the handle. The countdown hit midnight. Every TV cut to black. Then, from inside my own house, a faint voice spoke, not from any device, but from the air itself. "We're live." I should have left the moment I saw the static crawling up my phone screen. But I didn't. Because that's the thing about fear, it doesn't always make you run. Sometimes, it just freezes you, like you're waiting for the worst part of a bad movie that you already paid to watch. I was sitting in my living room, every light off except the soft blue flicker from the TV. The pumpkin mask still sat on the coffee table, cracked smile aimed straight at me. It had dried now, stiff and pale, like something preserved. I couldn't explain why I hadn't thrown it out. It felt like throwing it away would be inviting something to come get it back. Outside, the fog had thickened. The air pressed against the windows like it wanted in. That's when my TV turned on by itself. No power surge. No remote in my hand. Just static. That same crawling, shimmering snow I'd seen on Julie's screen earlier. Then a shape flickered through it, a face, maybe? It looked like a jack-o'-lantern, but wrong. The eyes weren't cut out, they were burned in. Two dark pits that blinked, slow and human. The voice came next. Distorted, low, like it was coming through layers of wet cloth. "Do you see them, watching?" I grabbed the remote, pressing buttons until my thumb ached, but the image didn't go away. It started spreading, through my phone, my laptop, even the smart speaker in the corner that had been unplugged since last week. Every screen in my house hummed with the same deep, mechanical sound. The same whispering tone. And through it all, that voice again. One mask for the living, one mask for the lost, one mask for the hollow night. The pumpkin mask on the table twitched, moved, I swear to God. Its shadow bent in the flickering light like something was breathing underneath it. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and decided that was it. Enough supernatural nonsense for one Halloween. I was getting in my car and driving until the fog ended, or I did. But when I opened my front door, there were masks. Dozens of them. Lined neatly across my porch, end to end, all the way to the sidewalk. Every one hand-painted, every grin cracked, like they'd been sitting out in the rain for years. And in the street, 5 or 6 figures. All in black. All standing perfectly still. I couldn't tell if they were kids, adults, mannequins, but they were facing my house. Every single one of them. My heart slammed against my ribs. "Okay," I muttered, "nope, not today." I shut the door and ran upstairs to my bedroom, locking it behind me. My window overlooked the street. Maybe I could see what the hell was going on. I peeked through the blinds. They were gone. Every single one. The masks were gone, too. Just wet footprints on the driveway leading away from the porch. That's when my phone buzzed again. Unknown number this time. "Do not break the broadcast." Before I could block it, another message came through. "When the pumpkin bleeds, open the door." What the hell does that even? Thunk. The sound came from downstairs. Something heavy hitting the hardwood. I grabbed the nearest thing that could pass for a weapon, my flashlight, and crept down. The air felt wrong. It was warm, like a furnace had just kicked on, but my skin was cold. The TV was on again, showing my front porch. Except my house doesn't have a front camera. The image was grainy, shaky, but I could see someone standing outside, right where I'd been moments ago. Holding something. The camera zoomed in automatically, and I realized what it was. A jack-o'-lantern. But the candle inside wasn't a candle. It was moving. Flickering red like a heartbeat. The figure lifted the pumpkin closer to the door camera. And for half a second, I saw my own face reflected in it. Then, the pumpkin cracked open, spilling something dark down the steps. Blood. The TV fizzled and went black. My flashlight flickered, then died. The house went pitch dark. I heard footsteps behind me, slow, bare, dragging slightly with each step. I spun around, but the hall was empty. The sound came again, closer now, from the kitchen. And then I smelled it. Rotten pumpkin, wet dirt, and something like burning wax. My flashlight sputtered back to life for half a second, just long enough for me to see a shadow standing on the ceiling above the hallway door. Arms too long, head tilted at a wrong angle. It dropped. I fell backward, scrambled up, ran into the kitchen, but the figure was gone. Only the faintest outline on the tile, like a scorched shadow. That's when my phone started recording on its own. Front camera. No sound. Just static in my face in the dim light, eyes wide, breathing too fast. The voice returned, this time through the speaker. Clearer. The broadcast is open. All the lights in the neighborhood came on at once outside my window. Porches, driveways, street lamps. And on every doorstep, more pumpkins. Hundreds of them. Each one carved differently. Every mouth shaped into one word. Tune in. The TV flickered back on. The static had changed. It wasn't random anymore. It was an image. A circle of people standing around something. A fire. In the center of the fire, that same pumpkin mask I'd picked up earlier. The camera panned closer. I swear it wasn't a movie. It was live. And the person holding the camera was breathing hard, like they were scared too. That's when the broadcast voice whispered. You watched. You stayed. Now the feed needs your face. The phone camera glitched, the screen mirrored me for a second, then the reflection smiled back. Not me. It moved before I did. I threw the phone, smashing it against the wall, and ran to the back door. The handle was ice cold. I yanked it open and froze. The fog had moved closer. It wasn't mist anymore. It was thick, rolling, pulsing like it was alive. Shapes moved inside it. Small ones. Crawling. And a faint chanting. The same words, repeating, in hundreds of low voices. One mask for the living. One mask for the lost. One mask for the hollow night. Then, right in front of me, a hand reached through the fog. Holding a new mask. This one was black, glossy, with no eye holes at all. And behind it, a familiar voice. Julie's. You have to wear it, or it finds another face. I stepped back. Julie? What are you talking about? Her silhouette wavered in the fog. It's Halloween. The broadcast only ends when all the faces are taken. Then she was gone. Just fog. And the mask still floating in the air, waiting. I slammed the door shut. I didn't know what to do anymore. My phone was dead, my internet was gone, and somewhere in the house, the pumpkin mask began whispering. Not in words, but in a wet, dragging sound like air being pulled through soaked paper. I could feel it. Whatever this was, it wasn't a prank. It wasn't a ghost. It was using Halloween. Using the screens, the cameras, the ritual. It was a signal. And I had already tuned in. I don't know how long I stood there, listening to the whispering pumpkin. Could have been seconds. Could have been hours. The house had gone quiet except for the static that hung from the walls, like the insulation itself was buzzing. My heartbeat felt sync to it, each thump blending into that low electrical tone. My reflection in the window pulsed in time with it too. Pale. Tired. And slightly off. I'd seen myself 1,000 times before, but this version, this thing in the glass, blinked too slow. Smiled when I didn't. That's when the broadcast voice came again, low and crisp, directly in my ear. No phone, no speaker, just inside my head. The feed remains open. The signal must complete. My living room light started dimming and brightening, like a pulse. Some part of me, the part that still thought logic could win, decided to fight back. If this thing could broadcast through every screen, maybe I could jam it. I grabbed my router, yanked every cable out, and ripped the power cord free. Sparks jumped, burning my hand, but I didn't care. For 2 seconds, the static stopped. Then, every light in the house exploded at once. Glass rained down, the smell of burnt ozone filling the air. When I looked back toward the TV, it wasn't showing static anymore. It was showing me. Not in real time. In the past. Me, sitting on the couch. Me, picking up the pumpkin mask earlier. The timestamp in the corner read 8:16 p.m. It was looping. Playing the night back. But in the background of the recording, behind my shoulder, I could see movement. A face half visible behind the hallway door. Pale. Grinning. Watching. That hadn't been there before. The realization crawled up my spine like ice water. Whatever this broadcast was, it wasn't just showing, it was recording. Documenting me like a show. And now, it was playing the reruns. I turned off the TV. The reflection still moved. That's when the whisper changed. It wasn't one voice anymore. It was dozens. Layered, distorted, coming from the walls, the vents, even the floorboards. You stayed for the story. You stayed for the end. Now stay for the signal. I stumbled back and knocked over the pumpkin mask on the table. It rolled toward the hallway and stopped itself. I swear on everything, it stopped on its own, the grin turning toward me. And then it laughed. Not loud. Not comical. Just a low, dry chuckle, like someone trying not to be heard. I ran to the front door, locked. Deadbolt jammed. The windows sealed shut. Every screen in the house turned back on at once, not showing static this time, but faces. Hundreds of them. Each one wearing a jack-o'-lantern mask. Each one whispering in unison. The broadcast must feed. My breathing hitched. I shouted, "Feed on what? What do you want?" And for the first time, the voice answered clearly. Faces. The screens blinked, cutting to a dark, grainy video, live feed again. The same cul-de-sac. Outside my house, the fog rolled like a tide, and the figures were back, rows of them now, stretching down the street. Everyone holding a pumpkin with a candle flickering red inside. And behind them, something taller moved in the mist. Something massive. A shape the fog tried to hide, like the shadow of a tree with too many limbs. The pumpkins in the street all turned toward my house at once. The red candlelight pulsed in sync with my heartbeat. I realized then, they were using me. The broadcast wasn't coming from outside. It was coming through me. Somewhere, deep in the house, my laptop turned itself on. A live stream window opened automatically. The title bar read, Halloween feed, live now viewers, 666. Oh, you've got to be kidding me, I muttered. Even hell has a sense of humor. The webcam light flicked on. My own face appeared, lit by the flicker of the screens. I tried slamming the laptop shut. It didn't close. The hinges resisted like it was alive. Then the voice came from the speakers, smooth, slow, and almost amused. You gave them a story, now give them the ending. And on the stream chat, messages started rolling in. Thousands. Who's filming this? Is this real? This isn't a game, right? Where's his face? The camera zoomed in on its own, tighter and tighter until my eyes filled the frame. And in that reflection, for just a second, I saw something moving under my skin. Lines. Circuits. The glow of static beneath my flesh. It hit me all at once. The broadcast wasn't a possession. It was installation. It was turning people into signal repeaters, walking transmitters for something old and hungry. And I was next. I backed up, shaking, muttering, No, 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 but my own voice doubled, echoing an instant before I spoke, like a delay in a live stream. That's when my front door unlocked itself. The knob twisted slow, the wood creaking. I stepped back, flashlight shaking in my hand. The fog pushed in first. Then the figures. All those black shapes stepped over the threshold, silent and deliberate. Each one wearing a mask. And at the front of them, Julie. Her mask was different now. Not papier-mâché. It was bone white, like porcelain, with 2 candlelit eyes. "Please," I whispered. "Tell me how to stop it." Her voice came soft, trembling. "You can't stop it. It stops when the signal ends, and the signal ends when it finds its host." She looked at me, almost pitying. "You shouldn't have watched." Then she placed her mask gently on the floor between us, and stepped back into the fog. The others followed. All of them vanished, their shapes dissolving like smoke. For a moment, I thought it was over. Then my TV blinked to life one last time. The static cleared, and a new image appeared, a dimly lit living room. Mine. But I wasn't in it. Someone else was sitting on my couch, wearing my clothes, holding the cracked pumpkin mask in their lap. They turned toward the camera slowly. The face beneath the mask was mine. But the eyes were hollow and glowing faint red, like dying coals. Then the live stream count on the laptop began rising again. 667, 668, 669. And I understood what the broadcast had meant. It wasn't looking for viewers. It was looking for hosts. Every watcher, every single person who clicked that cursed Halloween feed, became another transmitter. Another channel. I ran upstairs, slammed the bedroom door, and shoved a dresser in front of it. My heart hammered in my throat as I checked my phone. The camera was on again, streaming on its own. I could see myself through it. But my movements were seconds off. My reflection smiled. Then the power cut completely. No lights. No sound. No hum of electricity. Just silence. And from downstairs, a faint trickling. I grabbed a candle from the nightstand and lit it, hands shaking. The flame flickered orange, throwing shadows across the walls. The trickling got louder, thick and wet, like liquid sliding across tile. I crept to the stairs. The sound came from the living room. The pumpkin mask sat in the middle of the floor, and beneath it, blood was pouring out of its mouth. Not dripping, flowing, steady, endless. I stepped closer. The blood pulled around my feet, warm and alive, rippling to the rhythm of the static hum that had returned. Then, from deep inside the mask, a whisper. "You were watching. Now, they're watching you." The candle flickered, and the blood reflected faces. Hundreds again, maybe thousands. Watching from the liquid surface like glass. All smiling. My phone buzzed one last time. Unknown number. "Happy Halloween, the broadcast is complete." The pumpkin mask began to melt, hissing like wax on fire. The smell of smoke and rot filled the air. I backed up to the wall as the blood drained into the floorboards, leaving only a faint glowing circle where it had been. The circle pulsed. Once. Twice. Then it stopped. The silence was worse than the noise. I waited. Minutes passed. Maybe hours. Finally, I whispered, half to the empty room, half to myself, "It's over." That's when my smart TV spoke in that cheerful automated voice I hadn't heard all night. "Welcome to the broadcast. Would you like to go live?" Would you have gone live or turned it off? Tell us in the comments. If this story gave you chills and candies in your belly, tap like, stay on the trail, and subscribe before the next one finds you. The way is shut. Don't get lost. Step off the path. Follow Sinister Trail.